You get the atmosphere. I mean, I did find it harrowing. I mean,
Did you find it harrowing?
I did.
The closed-door meeting without King Charles and Queen Camilla was enough to send shockwaves through Buckingham Palace. But what truly stunned everyone was Prince William's decision during the meeting assigning Princess Catherine, his wife, additional royal duties as preparation for a future transition of power. Just hours after learning the news, Queen Camilla was furious, believing she had been deliberately sidelined from an important decision. Then, on the very day Catherine made her first public appearance at a charity event, following the announcement, she suddenly fell down a flight of stairs after colliding with a member of staff in front of numerous guests. At first, everyone assumed it was simply an unfortunate accident. But when William noticed inconsistencies in the staff member's statement and the security camera footage, he decided to investigate the truth himself. Was it merely an unintended mishap or the beginning of a carefully orchestrated plot to prevent Catherine from stepping into her new role? Early that morning at Kensington Palace, the atmosphere inside the palace felt heavier than usual. The grand hallways, where sunlight filtered through stained glass windows, carried an indescribable sense of unease. Prince William entered the large meeting room with a solemn demeanor, his shoulders squared, and his eyes reflecting the determination of a man bearing heavy responsibilities. Beside him was Princess Catherine, his ever-resilient and graceful wife. She wore a simple yet elegant outfit that radiated poise, her gentle smile partially concealing the anxiety in her heart. Princess Anne, the experienced aunt, sat with a thoughtful expression alongside other members of the royal family and senior advisors. The air was oppressively silent, broken only by the rustling of papers and occasional soft sighs. What astonished everyone most was the two large empty chairs at the center of the table. King Charles and Queen Camilla were absent. There had been no prior notice, no official reason given. The entire meeting room seemed shrouded in a fog of suspicion. William took a deep breath, rose to his feet, and opened the meeting with a calm yet weighty voice. Today, we focus on the future of the monarchy. My father's reign is facing significant challenges regarding health and responsibilities. I propose that my wife, Princess Catherine, take on additional royal representational duties in the coming period. This is not merely temporary support, but a step in preparing for a long-term transition to ensure stability and maintain closeness with the British people. Catherine nodded slightly, her hand tightening beneath the table. She felt the full weight of responsibility on her shoulders. As a mother and wife, she understood that accepting this new role meant sacrificing more time with her young family and for the nation. But she trusted her husband. The advisors whispered among themselves. Some faces showed clear surprise, while others seemed to have anticipated this direction. William continued, his voice echoing. We need a strong, united royal family, where every member contributes to the common good rather than vying for power. News of the meeting spread through the palace like wildfire. Within less than an hour, the normally quiet corridors buzzed with discussion. Why were the king and queen absent from such a major decision? Is Prince William truly taking control now? Questions filled with concern and curiosity echoed everywhere. Many within the royal household felt unsettled. This was a rare instance of a high-level, important meeting occurring without the presence or even clear consent of the monarch. Charles, though of an age needing rest, remained the symbol of the reign. His and Camilla's absence felt like an unspoken declaration. A new era was arriving, and William was unwilling to wait any longer. Camilla's absence particularly fueled speculation. She had built significant influence behind the scenes, and being excluded led many to believe this was no mere oversight. Underlying tensions within the royal family rose sharply. William knew his decision would cause a stir, but he believed it was necessary. He glanced at Catherine, their eyes meeting with deep understanding, a shared resolve amid approaching storms. The meeting ended in a slightly chaotic atmosphere. Outside the palace, the press began to stir. A new chapter for the British royal family was unfolding, but with unprecedented rifts. William had taken the first step, and no one could foresee the consequences that lay ahead. The following day, according to the schedule, Catherine was to attend a major charity event in her new capacity. However, hours before Catherine departed for the event, the atmosphere at Clarence's house grew tense. Camilla received detailed information about the meeting through her private aide. She sank into her chair, her face flushed with anger and shock. "How dare they hold a meeting behind our backs like this?" Her voice trembled as she clenched her fists. After years of carefully building her position, Camilla felt everything beginning to crumble. Catherine, the woman with whom she had deep past disagreements, was now being elevated to the center stage. The feeling of being sidelined and undervalued filled her with a fury mixed with fear of loss. She could not accept being gradually replaced in the royal family and public opinion. Meanwhile, at the charity event venue, the initial atmosphere was warm and hopeful. Catherine appeared with a radiant smile, waving to the public and volunteers. She always knew how to spread positive energy despite the new heavy responsibilities weighing on her. The crowd cheered, cameras flashing continuously. Catherine descended the stairs gracefully, preparing to deliver a short speech on the significance of the event. Suddenly, a staff member rushed toward her from the opposite direction. The forceful collision caused Catherine to lose her balance and fall down the stairs. Shouts erupted everywhere. The program halted immediately. Catherine clutched her leg, trying to stand, but clearly in pain. Though her injuries were minor, she still tried to reassure those around her. "I'm all right, it's just a small accident. Please don't worry." Her voice remained composed, but everyone could see the incident had completely disrupted the meaningful event. At first, most people thought it was merely an unfortunate slip by the staff member. The employee repeatedly apologized, looking panicked. However, when William received the urgent report, he immediately abandoned his duties and rushed to his wife's side. He held her hand tightly, concern evident in his eyes. "Are you okay? Does it hurt badly?" His voice was low and full of care. Catherine smiled weakly, trying to reassure him. "Don't worry, darling. It's just a sprained ankle." But William's instincts told him something was wrong. When security brought the staff member in for questioning the man's demeanor, only heightened his suspicions. The employee avoided eye contact. His answers were hesitant, and his hands and body were trembling uncontrollably. "It was just an accident. I'm so sorry," he stammered. William observed closely and noticed the man wouldn't look him in the eye and kept glancing in a certain direction. These small details could not be ignored. As someone who had endured many royal family crises, William knew that in the palace, very few accidents were truly random. The more he thought about it, the greater his unease grew. He feared for Catherine's safety, the wife who had stood by him through countless hardships. At the same time, he was furious at the possibility that someone was trying to sabotage the transition plan he had just announced. "This was no ordinary accident," William whispered to his trusted security team. He ordered an immediate investigation, requesting that all relevant information be gathered discreetly. His emotions at that moment combined love and protectiveness for his wife and children with the responsibility of a future leader. He refused to let his family become targets of power struggles. While Catherine was taken to rest, William sat alone, lost in thought. He knew that if he let the matter slide without investigation, similar plots could continue. His resolve strengthened. The transition he had initiated was facing its first major test, and William would not allow anyone to stand in the way of protecting the royal legacy. William's suspicions opened the door to a dramatic investigation where the palace's dark secrets would gradually be revealed. Was the fall truly an accident? Or was there a hidden hand trying to halt the changes? Immediately after learning the full details of the meeting,
Through her aide, Camilla could no longer contain her raging fury. She shot up from her chair and paced her private room with agitated steps, her face burning red with anger and intense fear. Who do they think I am? A puppet to be discarded at will after everything I've done? Camilla muttered, her voice trembling with resentment. After years of perseverance in building her position and overcoming public and internal criticism, she clearly sensed everything was at serious risk of collapsing. Catherine, the woman she had long harbored deep reservations about regarding her background and role, was now being publicly elevated by William. The sensation of being replaced and dismissed left Camilla unable to rest. She believed that if she did not act immediately, her influence and position would vanish in an instant.
Camilla summoned her most trusted aide into the room. She looked at the loyal woman with cold yet desperate eyes. We cannot sit idle while William carries out that plan. Catherine must pause her public activities for a while. Just a small accident enough to injure her slightly and force her to rest. William will be occupied caring for his wife, and the plan to assign her more responsibilities will be delayed. The aide hesitated briefly, but ultimately nodded in compliance. She knew Camilla's personality well, once decided nothing could change it. Camilla continued outlining the plan in a decisive, detailed manner. Hire a reliable staff member to create a collision on the stairs at the charity event, the most accident-prone spot. Nothing too serious, just enough to cause minor injury and cancel the program. Then I will step in as a reliable supporter and gradually regain control. She emphasized repeatedly that everything must appear as a routine oversight, leaving no traceable evidence back to her. If it looks like a normal accident, no one will be able to trace the person behind it. The aide quickly devised the specific execution. The staff member would be easy to approach and would act as if accidentally colliding forcefully on the stairs. Camilla nodded in satisfaction, though deep down she felt uneasy and conflicted. She knew she was taking a great risk, but her ambition to maintain her position and fear of loss overrode all reason. I have sacrificed too much to reach this point. I cannot let Catherine and William destroy everything I've built. Her emotions at that moment were a complex mix of burning rage, extreme anxiety, and ironclad determination to protect what she considered hers.
The plan was swiftly and discreetly set in motion that morning. The aide contacted the staff member, carefully arranging the timing, location, and method. Everything occurred in absolute silence, without excess words or mistakes. Camilla waited for news in her room, her heart pounding harder than ever. She kept imagining the scene of Catherine falling, the event being canceled, and William forced to postpone his power transition ambitions. At that point, she would appear as a trustworthy supporter, slowly regaining control over meetings and key decisions in the royal family. Yet behind her resolute and cold exterior, Camilla also felt a vague sense of remorse creeping in. She knew this action was not only dangerous, but could destroy her image and status if discovered. Nevertheless, her thirst for power had driven her too far down this path. She believed that in the palace, power allowed no mercy or waiting. Those who hesitated would be ruthlessly eliminated. When news of the collision reached Camilla, she breathed a partial sigh of relief. The plan appeared to have succeeded in its initial stage. But she had no idea that this very moment was setting off a chain of events that would change everything forever. William had already begun to suspect, and the silent investigation was drawing closer than ever. Camilla remained in her private room, clinging to a fragile hope that everything remained under control. But in this ancient palace, once secrets began to surface, nothing could stop them. After the collision that injured Catherine, William could not sit still for a moment. He immediately convened his most trusted security team for a discreet meeting in his private office. With a low but steely voice full of determination, William ordered review all security camera footage from the staircase entrances and surrounding areas of the event venue. I need to know exactly what happened. Do not miss a single detail. His face showed clear worry mixed with deep anger. Catherine had been his steadfast emotional support through the years. The thought of her nearly suffering serious injury made him unable to accept this as a simple accident. As the camera footage played on the screen, the inconsistencies emerged logically and irrefutably. The staff member had arrived at the venue very early that day, even though his name was not on the list of event personnel. Even more suspicious was the external camera capturing him meeting privately with a masked woman just before entering the building. William gripped the armrest tightly, his eyes narrowing in suspicion. This was clearly not random. Someone is behind this. The security team quickly brought the staff member in for questioning in a sealed room. Initially, he stubbornly denied any wrongdoing. With a panicked expression, "I only accidentally bumped into Her Royal Highness. Please forgive my carelessness." But when William replayed the clear camera evidence showing the man repeatedly glancing toward the masked woman and deliberately stepping into Catherine's path, the staff member truly panicked. Sweat poured down his forehead, his voice shaking uncontrollably. Finally, he confessed, "I was paid to cause the collision. But I only knew the hirer was a woman. I don't know who truly gave the orders." William sighed heavily, filled with disappointment, but remained calm and did not rush to conclusions. He realized there was a far more cunning and dangerous mastermind behind the staff member. This isn't just about money. It's a deliberate plot to obstruct Catherine and our transition plan. His emotions were a complex blend of fear for his wife and children's safety and fierce determination to protect his family and the monarchy's future. He thought of his young children, of Catherine resting with her injury, and grew even more resolute. He ordered a deeper discreet investigation to avoid major disruption in the palace and public opinion. The security team quietly analyzed additional evidence: the staff member's exact arrival time, unusual movements, calculated actions, and suspicious communications. Every detail pointed to a well-prepared plan rather than a random oversight.
William sat alone in his office after the interrogation, his gaze distant as he looked out the window. He recalled the morning meeting and Catherine's worried yet determined eyes as she accepted her new responsibilities. Who could do this? What is the ultimate goal? These questions gnawed at him, leaving him restless. He knew that stopping here would allow the mastermind to continue and potentially cause greater harm. Thus, William took an important next step, instructing the security team to discreetly monitor the staff member's movements after his release. He cautioned them carefully. Work quietly. Do not let him or anyone suspect anything. We must find the person behind this at all costs.
The initial inconsistencies gradually formed a clearer and more alarming picture. William sensed real danger lurking around his family. But instead of panicking, he became calmer and more decisive. This was not only about protecting Catherine, but also safeguarding the legacy and future he was trying to build for the British royal family. The investigation continued in silence, but William knew that with just one more key clue, the dark truth would be exposed. And when that happened, no one could escape the consequences of their dangerous schemes.
When news reached Camilla that the staff member had been summoned for questioning by William, she panicked for the first time in years. Her face turned deathly pale, and her hand shook as she slammed her teacup down, spilling liquid everywhere. This can't be. They found out so quickly. My plan is collapsing, Camilla whispered to herself, her voice full of fear, mixed with uncontrollable anger. She realized everything she had built was on the verge of total ruin due to one miscalculation. Camilla immediately summoned her trusted aide. Her voice was icy, but revealed urgency and panic. Erase all messages and communications related to the staff member immediately. Leave no electronic traces. Tell him to leave London tomorrow, disappear for a long time, and not contact anyone. The aide nodded, though she too felt deep anxiety and fear under Camilla's pressure. Camilla continued with more detailed instructions. Give him extra money to ensure his silence. Strongly remind him that it was just a normal accident, nothing more. If he reveals anything else, we're both finished. That afternoon, the aide secretly met the staff member at a small, discreet hotel on the outskirts of London. The atmosphere was extremely tense, with both parties constantly looking around. The aide handed over a thick envelope of cash and said quietly but firmly, "Complete this final part well. Don't reveal anything. If you stay silent, you'll be safe and receive further rewards later." The staff member nodded frantically, but his eyes showed clear terror and regret. He had already confessed everything to William and now had to flee. But William had anticipated this. He had ordered his loyal security team to discreetly monitor the staff member's every move right after releasing him. Don't let him or anyone suspect. We need to see who he contacts and what he does next. The order was carried out meticulously and professionally. Then the crucial clue emerged. Security recorded the same masked woman from the incident camera secretly meeting the staff member at the hotel. Through further investigation of images and movement data, they confirmed it was Camilla's closest aide. This new evidence left William stunned, but even more certain and determined. He sat alone in his office, fists clenched until his knuckles turned white, filled with profound disappointment and rising fury. It can't be that the aide acted alone. The person truly behind this is very likely Camilla herself. His emotions were one of deep pain upon realizing such dark power struggles existed within the royal family. He worried for Catherine, resting with her injury, for their children, and for the future he was striving to build solidly. Meanwhile, Camilla still hoped everything was under control. She sat alone in her private room, holding a glass of wine, but unable to drink, trying to reassure herself that severing ties would succeed. But she had no idea that the invisible threads of truth were tightening around her. Her aide was being closely watched and irrefutable evidence was being fully collected by William.
Camilla had unwittingly stepped onto a path with no return. The initial fear of losing her position had pushed her into a dangerous vortex that was difficult to escape. Now it was only a matter of time before everything completely unraveled. That evening, the atmosphere at Kensington Palace was as heavy as if facing a great storm. William decided not to hesitate any longer. He summoned Camilla's aide and the staff member into a sealed room for a direct, uncompromising confrontation. In front of the two were large screens displaying clear camera images, detailed statements, movement records, and financial evidence. William looked straight into the aide's eyes, his voice cold, yet heavy with reproach. "Everything is as clear as day. Tell the truth. Don't make things worse." The aide initially tried to deny it, but when William presented the evidence of the secret hotel meeting, recovered messages, and matching timelines, she completely collapsed. Trembling from head to toe, the aide bowed her head and confessed everything was under direct orders from Queen Camilla. She wanted to stop Catherine from taking on more responsibilities to protect her own influence. The staff member also reconfirmed the entire incident, his voice full of regret and fear. William sat there, his heart aching at the harsh truth. He had suspected it for a while, but confirmation still shocked and deeply disappointed him. Immediately after the confrontation, William requested a private meeting with King Charles in his private chambers. With a calm but resolute voice, he presented the entire chain of evidence, clearly and completely. The two individuals' statements, irrefutable camera footage, movement, timelines, and financial transfers. Charles listened, his face gradually paling, his hands trembling as he held each document. Camilla, what has she done? How could she endanger Catherine just out of fear of losing influence. The king's voice was filled with shock pain and immeasurable disappointment. He could not believe his wife had gone this far.
After a long, heavy silence, Charles made his final decision with a weary but firm expression. He declared Camilla would be immediately removed from all internal royal family meetings. Her close team of aides would be fully disbanded. All rights to participate in coordinating activities and major royal decisions were permanently revoked. She must completely withdraw from any political influence, retaining only her outward title without real power.
When Camilla received the news from her aide, it was as if she had been struck by lightning on a clear day. She collapsed onto the sofa, her face drained of all color, her eyes empty. Everything she had built over many years, her network of relationships, internal influence, and position in the royal family, was shattered in a single night. Late regret mixed with despair left her speechless. She could only sit numbly in the shadows.
William stood watching his father with deep sympathy, but he knew this was a necessary and correct decision to protect the long-term stability of the monarchy. Catherine, despite her injured leg, remained by her husband and father-in-law's side with a resilient demeanor. She took no joy in Camilla's downfall, only quietly feeling sadness for the entire family.
The matter was tightly controlled internally, but the aftershocks still spread powerfully. The entire royal family realized that the new era had truly begun. William, with firm support from Catherine and loyal members, gradually strengthened his leadership position. Charles, the heartbroken, chose to stand with his son to ensure the monarchy's future. As for Camilla, she lost everything because of one mistaken decision, born from fear and personal ambition. This story became a costly lesson for all in the royal family. Personal ambition must never be placed above the common good and unity. William and Catherine continued their journey carrying hope for a monarchy that was closer to the people, more compassionate, and stronger than ever. If you were Prince William, would you continue the investigation to the end to protect Catherine, even if it risked fracturing relationships within the royal family? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy.